Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, well, happy Monday. Well, this is one of the first Mondays I've gotten excited about in a very, very long time. Usually, Mondays are a source of burnout for me, and I think I know why I am so cheerful on a Monday morning for the first time in several months. I think I know why. I've kind of pivoted away from the bismuth art, the computer games, and all that, and focused more attention to making new connections in my community. I've made it a rule to say hello to people that I normally might not have, and also I changed some of my anger problems. I used to have a different gesture. Now I give people the dislike. I had a little bit of a road rage situation, and I was just about to give a gesture to a car behind me, but I changed it to a dislike gesture, and I felt really good about that. And the whole road rage situation dissipated really quickly because both of us realized how dumb we were, and that was that. And instead, I went to the library. I said hello to a few people. I'm going to have to think about some other kinds of art to do besides bismuth. I have enough bismuth right now to for display, and instead I'll probably think about some other art. We got the twin disaster anniversaries coming up, Challenger and Columbia. I'll probably make some art about that. I was thinking about celebrating January 6th, but it didn't go too well. People are still very divided about that. It's still too fresh for us. Maybe in 100, 200 years, when January 6th becomes just another battle in history, maybe I'll think about doing something else, but not right now. People are still very divided about that. But I felt so good. It made me realize that the computer games, the bismuth art, they were some of those were getting into to addiction territory and not really a fun thing to do anymore. I'll think about other things to. It's good that the weather is starting to get better now. I just wish I could go back to Seattle, but you know what? Phoenix is nice too, and for once, I'm excited about going back to work. All this new energy, and I obviously don't give people the other gesture at work, but I might give people the dislike gesture, uh, and that's good. That's good. Uh, Obviously, the I now have a Peter dislike show, and I'm more proud of it now, and I hope to sleep this tightly this year, and yeah, I'm just thinking about new art I can make besides metalwork. The metalwork was kind of eating at me. Uh, I might think about I years ago I made some uh, chess sets with plywood. I might think about that again. I may also think about decorating rocks. I saw a rock the other day. Uh, Bismuth is worthless. I'm glad you. Well, I wasn't really thinking of bismuth as a precious metals investment. I was thinking of it as art. So it's not so much whether it will be worth anything. I might still buy the bismuth bars as an investment now, but my I'm getting a little bit tired of the art at the moment. Uh, anyway, uh, I got enough of it. This is one of my proudest pieces. Oh, actually, this one's my most proud one. But since now I talked about in my last video how I'm starting to connect with people more, and I'm gonna rethink my solo sexual life. When I do, uh, when I do propose to somebody, this will be the engagement piece because bismuth eventually becomes gold if you can believe it or not. and this will symbolize that we'll be together until this becomes gold, which could take on the order of 10 to the 20th power years, right? You got the decay from bismuth to thallium takes 2 times 10 to the 19th years. Thallium then potentially decays. It's observationally stable, but it decays into gold 201 in some bizarrely large number of years, right? And then gold 201 decays into mercury almost instantly. Mercury, I think it was 201, uh, decays into platinum 201, 197 in some insanely large number of years, right? It's also observationally stable. And then platinum 197 to gold 197. So this will symbolize that we'll be together until this becomes gold, which could be some large number of years, right? But I have enough. I'm taking a break away from that for the moment. I don't think bismuth is completely uh, worthless. It's just that there are other important things in my life, especially connecting with others and getting exercise and getting enough sleep and all that. Today, I'll have to practice something else. My At my workplace, I got a very talkative boss, and today I have a schedule that has a 1 hour break in between students. I do want to get more exercise, and I want to go out for a walk. But oftentimes, my boss is just really talkative. He has this bizarre ability to make talk out of nothing. He can sit down and talk for 2 hours with nothing in general to talk about, right? And it's nice to talk to him, but I really have a life. And the other day, I angrily stormed out on him because I know if he starts talking, uh, there'll be no end in sight. So I told him, I gotta go. I'm sorry, and I stormed out of there. I felt really bad about that, and I felt really bad about that. Bad. This is where that's why you tell him you have to do something on your break before he starts talking. Well, like at the beginning of the day, or just before the break. But anyway, he starts talking about nothing, and I storm out, and I couldn't even enjoy my walk. And I'll have to practice walking out today gracefully, not storming out, not getting angry. I feel really bad about that. I feel badly about having to speak up in general. I was talking about 2 weeks ago how, or not even 2 weeks now, I had a coworker who often asks me for various food items that I bring to work. I mean, she's only 19, 20 years old and probably lives with her parents and probably doesn't get a chance to try all these bizarre foods. So I bring in dark baking chocolate. I bring in uh, some non-alcoholic beer. I bring in some raw fish, and she asked for it. And at first, I was glad that I had a friend who loves to eat these things, because normally when I eat these, it's a very lonely experience to eat healthy here in the United States. It really is, especially in a small town, right? You go to a Seattle, a New York, you might have more uh, people who do this, but in a Phoenix, oh my God, it's a very lonely experience. So eventually, I kind of liked it, but it got to ridiculous proportions, and I had to put my foot down, uh, and it just I felt so badly after I left, and I got really depressed. And I went home and I did the math, and I'm like, you know what? It's not the end of the world to share my food, because when I did the math, I first of all, last year I was sharing my food, and I still maxed out my Roth 401k, and I still bought half a ton of this stuff. And then I did the math, and I'm like, I need that friend more than I need all that, because at the end of the day, not having allies at work was what killed me at my last job. And so I just need to to be to learn to connect with people more. Tiger says, just mention in passing that you have something to do. Well, it's kind of every day that it's not just today. So I really want my space, but okay, I'll probably do bring that up. Uh, but I think a few times of leaving the center will it will probably set the precedence. I think I've been letting other people set precedences for me too much. Um, but I felt so good because I slept so well, but at the same time, eventually, I do wanna make new connections, and I still wanna sleep very well, so when I do have a partner in my life, history shows that, uh, a lot of things, go by the wayside, and so I'll have to think about how to do that. I don't think I can have a partner, sleep well, and still have my personal hobbies, and still have a big career. I think, eventually, one of those things has to give. That's the frustrating part of things. Anyway, what else is going on? I've been giving a lot of people the dislike gesture, and I really love it. I'll go to the library, go to a store, and see something that angers me, and I'll just put up a dislike gesture, and that's really good. Anyway, anything else you guys want me to talk about? Oh, the other day, I I probably shouldn't do this, but I almost made fun of somebody for their name at the tutoring center. I overheard one of my colleagues um, referring to one of the students there as Jax, and I've never heard that name before. And in my mind, I thought it was plural for Jack, and I'm like, who pluralizes a name? I thought it was Jacks. And I said, gee, that's such a strange name. And finally, at the end of the class, I couldn't wait to get out to see just what this name is. And my uh, I got up and I went to the student to see if he had his name written down or something. And I see it's JAX. It's my first time ever seeing a name like that, and I had to bite my lips to keep from laughing because I really thought that was the strangest name in the world, but at the same time, I know people, are very proud of their name, so I really had to I had to bite my, lips to keep from laughing, and, finally, I had a chance to Google the name, and I realized that it had only become popular in like the last decade or two. So that kind of explained why I had never seen that name before. And you got to understand, outside of tutoring, I mostly associate with people a lot older than me at the computer game conferences, at backgammon tournaments, at coin shows. There's no way you're going to see a Jax at any of those events, right? Um, and so I never seen that name before. I mean, I very rarely, and the only other place I might see somebody slightly younger than me is in the dating world. I rarely ever date somebody of the same sex, so I don't see any Jaxes there either. And so it was just my first time encountering that name, and Jax. I guess I learned something new this week. It's nice. It's nice. But at the same time, I really shouldn't be laughing at people's names. So it's just weird. I guess I shouldn't. I'm not laughing. I just learned something new. Um. Anyway, according to my own research, it became popular in like the 2000s. So that's that, right? I guess. Well, I wonder what's the first person in history named Jax. Maybe we could Google that, or let's Google of some famous people named Jax and see what comes up. Let's see. People named Jax. Jax Dane. American professional wrestler. Jax Anderson, an American singer. Jax Jones. Well, Jax Dane was born in 1981, so apparently that name isn't so old. Uh, okay. If I have a son one day, I'll name him Jax because that was just so mysterious to me. Uh, let's see. We could go on Wikipedia and search Jax. They refer to an American singer and American Idol contestant, Jax. Gotta see. When was she on American Idol? 2015. I haven't been following that stuff. Okay, cool. It just gave me a diversion. I was really upset and lonely earlier this week. I was upset about, well, not upset. I was confused about whether or not I should share stuff with my coworker. I was confused about whether or not leaving during the workday, during the break was a problem. I was confused about. I was burnt out about making the bismuth art. I was uh I'm kind of nervous about getting myself well I've already recovered. I wondered if I had COVID-19 earlier in the year because my taste buds were off, but at the same time, I had important work to do, and I didn't want to get myself tested. So I had a week where I was mentally confused and jammed up, and hearing the name Jax just gave me a little bit of excitement. So let's just put it that way. All right, I'm gonna get ready for the day, but this is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.